We're good. We are back.
Mm.
Holy shit! It's been a week, my man. It's been a
Yes.
week.
Mm.
Goddamn. It has been a week. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you've all had a fantastic week. Whatever your week may consist of, work, play, both. Mostly work.
Preferably both.
Yeah, preferably both. But you know what? I'm more power to you if it's only one of them. You don't jump off a cliff during the week. I get it. Trust me. It sucks out here. Whew, man, it's been tough, man. Holy shit.
Mm.
So one of my buddies, uh, he
Uh-huh.
paid for my sub for Final Fantasy 14. I've been away for like a while, right?
Oh.
Yeah, he he
Mm-hmm.
he got he got me like a 1 month back. He's like, hey man, like
Mm.
we're all hanging out. Come on back and play with us for a bit. I'm like, I don't know, guys. I'm past that. And they're like, come on, dude, just come on,
Uh-huh.
just play, bro. Bro, it was like the fucking mafia, man. Just when you just when you think you out, just when you think you done, just when you think it's over, just when
They
you
made you an offer you can't
yeah,
refuse.
just when you thought you was over that drug. You know what I mean? That dealer gives you one more hit, just one more hit. Next thing you know, you right back in it. You right back there, and I'm like, damn, I'm back. I'm back. That's been my week. A lot of Final Fantasy 14 and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
me trying to fix things in other playthroughs I'm working on, such as the guide
Mm.
that I use for Persona 5 being incredibly
Oh.
wrong at a certain point, and now I have to figure out a
Oh.
way to fix it. Yeah,
Hmm. Wasn't that the guide that you praised a few
yeah.
episodes
Apparently,
ago?
apparently they
Ah.
dropped the ball like 4 months into this fucking thing.
Whoops.
Yeah, it didn't account. It doesn't account for a social stat being rank 4. So like
Mm-hmm.
in June it says you're rank 3, right? So you should have
Mm-hmm.
guts rank 3. But then 5 days into July, it wants you to start a new confidant that assumes you're rank 4. But nowhere
Mm-hmm.
in the guide does it say where you would have ranked up to rank 4. So I'm like,
Ah.
fuck.
Okay.
Oh no, how do I
Huh.
fix this? Turns out I'm not the only one who's had this problem. Because other
Whoops.
people, yeah, I have a workaround. It's not going to be pleasant because I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to have to actually improvise a little bit towards the end of this run. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'll
All right.
improvise. I'll.
All right, yeah, it's good that you don't need to replay
Oh God, I'm
a
not.
lot of
No,
hours.
I'm not.
Then,
No,
okay, good.
I might lose the platinum on this one though. So
Mm-hmm.
I might do everything. I'm just not going to end up with a platinum at the end, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cherry on top versus the goal. You know what I mean? The
Mm-hmm.
platinum was an extra few sprinkles
Mm.
on top of this
Okay.
fantastic Sunday. So it's fine. I just won't have the luxury of having a platinum. I'm fucking fine with that
Mm.
shit. It's fucking fine. I don't hunt trophies anyways. I leave that to better, far more determined.
People with more time.
Yeah, more determined people. I don't have that kind of patience, and for this game, nah, I'm good. I'll do everything within my power to make sure this gets done, to make sure this run is complete, and when it's done,
Mm-hmm.
even if I'm one trophy off, fuck, dude, if I end up one trophy off, man, I'm gonna be pissed, because at that point, shit, dude, I'm gonna have to go back and do it. Like, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get, like, not caring about 100%, but, like, be real with me, CD. Be, like, 100% real. If you were playing, like, I don't know, Horizon, like, the third Horizon game or fucking whatever, right? And,
Mm-hmm.
like, you finish the game, right? Like, dead ass, you beat
Mm-hmm.
it. And then your trophy score is one trophy away from platinum. So you have one more thing you gotta fucking do. One thing you gotta do before you get platinum. Wouldn't you be like a little bit like, oh fuck, I'm already there. Might as might as well.
It's I'd say it depends on the trophy. Cause there are some bullshit trophies.
You would okay, so it would really depend on like what that trophy was, right? It wouldn't
Yeah. If it would be a massive effort or dependent on some feature of the game that I absolutely don't like, then I'd say fuck it. Because, for example, in the second Horizon game, there are trophies that are dependent on the arenas and the challenges, the arena and different challenges there, and I absolutely don't like those matches. So I'm skipping that.
Yeah, that's a hard pass, right? You're just like, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, no, it's like, yeah, okay, fair enough. I don't know, man. It would depend. Like, I probably would be the same way, but I might just grit my teeth and do it. If I was like one trophy away, if I was like just about there, shit, man, I might just grit my teeth and do it. Because I feel like I was letting myself down if I didn't do it at that point. You know, like, that's like,
if it would be something like, okay, find some things in the world and complete your collection or something, maybe.
It's like that's like running a 5K and then like fucking tripping and giving up. Like when you
running a 4.9 0K or something.
Right. You got 4.9, my dude. You really gonna quit now?
You already see the finish line in the back there.
Shit.
Then you say, "No, I'm quitting."
Yeah, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I ain't quitting now. Fuck. But yeah, that's a lot of it. Thankfully for me, Reddit exists and people have already been using this guide, so people had already like saw this error. And unfortunately, it's too late. Like the person that wrote it, the first thing I thought was, you know what? Maybe I could just find the person that wrote it because it has an author. I'm like, I'll just contact the person that fucking wrote it. Like, it's fine. They're usually pretty cool. She wrote it. Like, I'm sure she'll understand if someone if someone just politely points out that there is a small technical error within this. It's not even like it's an error that like only a nitpicker would notice. It's a pretty substantial problem. Like, you didn't account for one rank. I think she'll get it, but they haven't been active on any social media since 2020. So,
yeah. And the guide is probably from 20 something. Probably from when the game was relatively new.
Yeah, probably. So, well, as much as my initial idea was to do that, when I saw their social media, this individual social media hadn't been touched in 2020. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's unfortunate. All right, I guess I'll just have to wing it. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I took on a new strategy. I've been doing like every other day uploads now for like my videos and shit. You know, like every other day. It works out really well because now it's so much easier for me. Like, fuck, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, holy shit. Holy shit. It's so much better. I'm so much better. Oh, right. I should probably say this now. I'm almost out pussyfooting around on this. I'm gonna stop fucking changing dates and shit. The podcast goes up on Sunday. That's when it goes up officially. It goes up on Sunday morning. Right. Saturday night, Sunday morning. That is when this show goes live. That is it.
All right.
This is official. All right. It's on camera. You got me on fucking record now. This is it. No more. Maybe it goes up on Wednesday. Maybe it goes up on Friday. Maybe it goes up on... No, it goes up on Sunday. That's when it happens. That's what we doing this. It's over. I'm done. This is the day. No more games. You got me on video, all right? I will eat my own shoe if I change this date again, all right? And do I even have my fucking... I do. One sec. Hold up. I'm going to eat this nasty-ass shoe. This one right here, this nasty-ass shoe, it's going to be my lunch one of these fucking days if I fuck this up. Here it is. Y'all see it. Shit. I'm playing with y'all. I ain't messing around with y'all. I know what I'm doing. This ain't my first, second, third, fourth, or fifth rodeo. It's 27th.
Given that this is the internet, you're gonna be making a video and then the shoe turns out to be cake.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to it either. It's not gonna be pleasant. So CD, how is
hmm
how is how is Assassin's Creed treating you? Um,
Tried and failed to pronounce Valhalla there.
I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember if the actual name was Valhalla or not because I don't play
Yeah, it is.
Assassin. I couldn't remember if it was Valhalla. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to say Valhalla, but I couldn't remember if that was the
Yep,
actual name for
that is because it's Vikings, so obviously it has to be Valhalla.
it. Right, right, of course.
It's pretty much the closest thing you think of when you have that theme. But yeah, it's yeah, I've been casually continuing that. I've now sort of recruited one of the other clans to help me in the campaign, and I've upgraded the settlement a bit. Which yeah, that's honestly a mechanic that I like. To that you have to raid stuff and get your resources like that, and then upgrade your settlement. Fits with the theme. And it's not overdone. It's just you unlock your features like that, and so far at least you don't have to additionally level up those buildings again and again. It
Yeah.
just okay, it's there, it's unlocked, and then can use it. Just yeah, that's fine. Story, I haven't continued the main story much so far. Just that that bit was essentially part of the main story. That I've gone to another clan and helped them, and now they're gonna help me if need be. Now I'm gonna look further north for the continuation of the story. Like, yeah. So far it's nice. I've let me think. I haven't much changed my equipment yet because if it continues like this, it's not gonna have much in terms of changing equipment, but it's more a you upgrade your existing equipment
That's one
and
thing I
give them
had
new
heard.
looks.
That's one thing I had
Mm-hmm.
heard is that there wasn't a lot of equipment. Like it wasn't. It
Mm-hmm.
looks like maybe they learned from the last one where it was like they were just
Yeah, but
throwing
it was
like
maybe a
new.
bit much.
They were just
Mm-hmm.
throwing. It was like a Diablo game, really. They were just throwing new
Yeah,
equipment at
kind
it.
of. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Diablo game, really.
Not quite that bad in terms of the amount of loot, but yeah, it was more a well, yeah, and hack and slash looter more in that direction. So it was a bit much for that kind of game, but yeah, this so far that I think that's a decent approach. That you have to get resources to upgrade your equipment, and then your equipment gets a different look. And if you do these tiered upgrades, you can then do more internal upgrade steps. So essentially, you unlock a certain maximum level of upgrades for the equipment like that. And I'm guessing you probably find different types of weapons as time goes on. Like I found one that's I think it was sort of like a flail, but not with a ball on the one end, but more of a spike,
Huh.
but on a chain. Which I haven't used that one yet because so far I've preferred the axe, which works fine, which is pretty much a Viking weapon anyway. So yeah, it's so far I've had casual fun with it.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much been my week in terms of gaming.
Oh. Oh boy. So
Uh-huh.
I get to start the good stuff then, don't I? I get to.
Yes.
All right.
Let's get to the good stuff because it hasn't been a really negative week, so
No, but
not much to be cynical about this week,
but
surprisingly enough.
I have plenty to talk about though. Don't you worry. Ooh,
Yeah, I'm not worrying, so.
don't you worry.
I'm
Reso
settling
Reso
in.
The turn-based Cynics will always give you what you want, but we'll give you what you need. Don't you worry. So, CD, I have a question for you, my dude. Imagine you put a lot of money into a single video game. A lot of money. Right? A lot of money. We're not talking 5,000. We're not talking 15,000. We're not even talking 50,000. We're talking
taxing my imagination there, but go on.
So I want to go back to Diablo Immortal because this story has this has been this individual has been like an ongoing thing on Diablo Immortal. I don't follow Asmongold that much, but he's been following this dude ever since, and it has been amazing to watch this. So we're gonna talk about a guy called Jay. It's Just Business. So when Diablo Immortal was still relatively new, right? Like within the first like week or so, this guy had already spent in one of his vlogs where he was defending pay to play, defending the whales, defending that mentality. He had already
he's one of those.
He had already blown 50,000, and that was within the first 2 weeks, give or take. Probably
perfectly reasonable amount. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Totally reasonable, right? Just 50K. And in that video, dude, he's got the gems that you pay for, right? The pay currency, right? He's got 14K in gems on his account screen because he's doing his video with the account screen right there with his character and the gear, and you can see the gems up there. It's 14K just off the top, my dude. 14K. Think about that for a second.
That's his weekly allowance or something, probably.
So here we are, weeks later, and this man has spent his way to 100K. 100K. He has invested 100K into his character. Now, normally I wouldn't even have this story here just because he spent an absurd amount of money, because let's face it, this shit's common. But
whales are whales.
Right. But this story gets even better. So this individual found himself in a weird spot. You see, he has arguably spent the most money of anybody in this game. He's even admitted that in the Discord server of Wales that he is a part of, that consists of maybe 25, 30 people, nobody really comes close to him. We're talking like, at best, we're talking maybe like 20K. Maybe 20K. I think he said on average they're spending 5 to 10. And then, like, some of the more extreme ones are a bit more than that. But he's sitting at a solid 100,000. Just keep that in mind. 100,000 just off the top. So he wanted to. There's an event for PvP where you can get like the wings and you can ascend PvP, right? And he couldn't queue.
Whoops.
The game either wouldn't queue him with anybody, or he just dead ass just could not queue. He could not enter PvP because this man's rating, his ranking, is so stupid that the game literally couldn't put him with anyone. Now, I want to say this on record because I'm not saying this. He said this in one of his videos. I watched, right? Because, I mean, I have to know. He said, literally, that his entire time playing Diablo Immortal, he's only lost 3 PvP matches. 3. Out of, I think he said around 300, 100, somewhere around there. It's like a hand, like 100, 200, 300 matches. He's only lost 3. My dude. I watch competitive gaming on occasion, all right? The best players don't end up with a win-loss ratio this fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't buy power in this game.
So he couldn't queue. And he even admitted that one of those matches he wasn't even paying attention. He was just distracted. He wasn't paying attention to the game he was playing. He was just distracted, and he lost. He lost like once. I'm like, wow.
It happens.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So he couldn't queue, and it led to this really weird situation, right? Because his first thing that he does is say that, like, hey, you know, when someone's invested this kind of money, you know, I should be allowed to play the game. And you know, I don't really have an argument for that. That's a pretty fair point. You should be allowed to play the game, you know. Matter
he is allowed.
Yeah, no matter what the circumstances. I find it hilarious, but still. So he found himself in a really ridiculous situation where for about 2 weeks he could not queue up for PvP. He could not pass this. He could not pass guild leadership over to someone else because the game lacks function in some places. So he couldn't pass guild leadership to someone else so they could do it. Yeah, it was a mess. And like,
okay, so the guild leadership thing is a different thing because that's just, well, yeah, game doesn't account for that apparently.
Yeah, no,
which is interesting.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, that's it. That's the story. That's
so essentially someone would have to make a completely new guild and everyone would have to transfer over.
Yeah. And, you know, it's this weird situation, right? Because the logic that these individuals use is that when games like these exist and they start, right, the whales and everybody else separate themselves out fairly early, right? So the game comes out, the people who pay are going to quickly get through or burn through all the free players, right? And they're going to separate themselves into their own tank with all the pay players, right? But consider the fact that this man paid to win so hard that he basically just won the game. He just won. He won the game. Like, what kills me is that Blizzard is so inept with their customer service that when he tried to contact their live server support, they all assumed he didn't know how to join PvP.
Oh. I mean, that's probably not them assuming something. That's probably just them going through the regular
list
manual. The customer service manual. It's like every time when someone reports a software error, you go through the motions of have you tried turning it off and on again and all that.
Yeah. So I gotta be honest, man. I just can't, like, spending like $100 on a pay to play on a game like this seems like a lot to me, like by itself. Like that to me just doesn't seem like a good investment because it's like I'm gonna spend like money and maybe not get what I want. like to me that's a turn off. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
definitely.
Like, imagine going to GameStop and buying a copy of a video game and then opening that shit up and it's not the game you paid for. Like that to me.
You buy a white box and gamble on what's in there.
Yeah, like to me that's not attractive.
Might be any of the used games from GameStop.
That's just not an attractive thing that I'm into. So I don't get it.
Oh, good. My 10th copy of FIFA 23. Yeah. Yay!
My 45th copy of Anthem. Oh boy. Fantastic. Exactly what I wanted.
At least you only paid 45 cents for that.
Yeah. Yeah, just I don't know, man. I like, you know, I don't want to like cuz I don't want to be that guy that's like, don't waste your money cuz like it's your fucking money, do what you want. But like I got to really like I just have such a hard time putting myself like obviously these individuals just have money to burn. That's all there is. This is they make so much money that the idea of spending.
Well, let's hope so.
I'd have to. I would like to
Let's hope so,
assume.
because I don't want anyone to be in trouble because of something like this.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't want it either, but it's kind of hard to not assume that there's at least some minority of this population of players who spend money in these games who like can't pay the rent one month because they had to roll that dice one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. I don't like it, but that's where we are. It's not. God damn, man. This
Yep.
this whole story was so ridiculous because, like, again, $100,000, $100,000, 14K just sitting in pay to play gems, just sitting on his account, just outright, dude,
Mm-hmm.
just right there, just off the top. That's
Yeah,
it.
essentially.
All right.
Oh yeah, I need another dozen gems here.
Yeah.
Done.
So, this one is a really interesting one because I got to be honest, man, I'd be pissed if I saw this. So,
Mm-hmm.
a user by the name of CD87 posted on Twitter on the 3rd that, okay, this is not okay, ScreenRant. I have spent more than 200 hours with
Yes.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and a whole day writing a unique monsters guide that
Mm-hmm.
your writer appears to have paraphrased in entirety. I'd love for you to prove me wrong, but there are deliberate errors in there.
Yeah.
Not a good look, guys.
Nope.
Not a good not a good look. And
Nope. Also, not the first time something like that happened with ScreenRant.
oh, is it really not the first time they've done this?
No, no. I think just in that thread about from that user, there was at least one other example. But yeah, big sites tend to do stuff like that.
Yeah,
So it's a problem.
sites like these tend to be more aggregators. You know what I mean? They aggregate news stories
Hmm.
together and everything. So it
And they have different authors, especially for guides like this, and obviously they don't really check if something has been already used elsewhere. So stuff
no,
like this just slips in,
no, and they're
and they
not.
don't really check.
Yeah, because to them, coverage is coverage, and Xenoblade
Yeah,
Chronicles 3 is
clicks are clicks.
yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 within the first handful of days, first week. That's good coverage right there.
Yep,
That's gold.
and
So
especially guides.
yeah, people are gonna be looking for this shit. So
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely see where they probably wouldn't have done their,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it's not right, but
they,
I could definitely see where they probably wouldn't. They'd be like, yo, coverage is coverage.
yeah.
Fuck that. But yeah, no, they totally did. Like, it's a
Mm-hmm.
different, if they formatted it differently, but I mean,
I think it was, well, at least a bit different because one had it in a table view and the
yeah,
other didn't, I think.
yeah, one has it in a, the first writer has it in like a table,
Mm-hmm.
while the other one just has it kind of in a list, kind of
Yeah,
a list
but
format.
uh, still bad. But at least I think ScreenRant took it down after a while. I'm not sure how quickly, but apparently it's gone from the site at least.
Well, yeah, uh, not a nice thing done to you. I can't imagine. Oh, okay.
But
So
it's definitely, yeah.
it looks like August. It looks like it was the same day. Someone posted on the same
Mm-hmm.
thread that the article was gone.
That's good.
So, yeah,
So at least they reacted.
they saw it and were like, oh, oh no, oh
Mm-hmm.
that's not good. Cause
Yeah.
like plagiarism is never like a thing you want to be like associated with. I mean, we've seen where this
Hmm.
goes. Usually, it doesn't usually end
Oh yeah,
well.
we've seen that.
You don't really want to be associated with plagiarism. And what really fucks me up is why would you even think that you'd be able to like do this and copy somebody else? Cuz let's be realistic. Not many people, I mean, not a very decent minority, very small, very minority is going to go through effort of being able to compile this information themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about maybe someone like me who might compile information from different sources and then use that information. That's different. We're talking
Mm-hmm.
about a very small amount of people are going to put in the kind of hours this dude did to compile this information to have it all just listed out. That is not a
Mm-hmm.
common thing. So
Yeah.
I have to wonder whether or not the guy at ScreenRant's brain wasn't just turned the fuck off. Because why would you think that you could do this and then not check? Because he must have just copied it. There's like, for one, I wouldn't do this, not just
Mm-hmm.
because plagiarism is wrong, but because like, what if the information's fucking wrong?
Yeah. And as the author writes, he had some deliberate errors in there, which, well, were in the ScreenRant version. So there you go.
What's he? Does he mean like typos?
I'm not quite sure if it's typos or if it's maybe a level more or less for some of the monsters. I only remember he said
Yeah. He said he
deliberate
doesn't.
errors.
He doesn't elaborate on deliberate
Mm-hmm.
errors, but I'm
Yeah,
just curious what those, because he must have used those deliberate errors to figure out whether or
probably
not
for
this.
something like this. Mm-hmm.
They must have been something very. There must have been things that he was like, you know what, this coverage is happening really quickly after the game comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make sure nobody tries nothing. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have I'm gonna have some tests in there for them and see if they catch them when they try to copy my article.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they didn't find them? Oh, I guess you copied my article. Then I know where you got it because you would not. That you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because you wouldn't have made those same errors. It's unlikely you would have made the
Mm-hmm.
exact same errors in the exact same places. It's not a thing.
Yeah. Makes you wonder if he already had bad experience like that in the past, or
Probably.
if he just, or if he knew someone who had a bad experience or something like that, or if he just is used to this kind of stuff happening, so he does this just
I I think it's
as a
probably.
security measure.
I think it's a mix. It's probably a mix.
Yeah, probably.
It's like he's probably had like a similar experience, and then
Mm,
you know
yeah, where he
when
maybe
it
didn't do this yet.
yeah, it's like the Dead Cells thing. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
if the guy didn't do that side by side comparison the way he did when he realized that his Dead Cell review was plagiarized, it's
Mm-hmm.
unlikely anybody would have taken him seriously. You know what I mean? If he
Yeah.
hadn't have broken down that review the way he did to prove the comparison, I don't think people would have
Mm-hmm.
been nearly as likely to listen. It wouldn't have been the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think this is a case of, one, he's probably seen this shit happen, and two, he's like, well, there's not a lot of ways in a written format that I can prove plagiarism, because true information is information regardless. So whether or not they get it from me, the
Mm-hmm.
information would be the same no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, that information
Yeah.
is concrete. So I'm going to have something in there, a
Mm-hmm.
test, so to speak, to see whether or
Yeah.
not they figure it out. And then if they just copy pasted like I expect them to, then guess what? I'm going to know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he
And
did.
if they maybe change some things, like write it a bit differently, and then do that in all the places where that can be changed, yeah,
Yeah.
they could claim, okay, the information is there, but I did that on myself. See, I wrote it differently.
Yeah. So I would. Look, with ScreenRant, I'm gonna Screen Rant. It's obvious this motherfucker took this shit and ran. So I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So good job, ScreenRant. Really, really, really great job. Really, really showing your integrity with that one. What do I want to do next?
Hmm.
I got so many choices today, CD. So many fucking choices to go from today. You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna talk about the Steam Deck. We're gonna talk about the Steam Deck
Mm.
because I think this is a story worth talking about.
Hmm.
So, some big news from Valve is that they are Valve's making quite the push with their Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
They are expanding. They are taking the Steam Deck as far as they possibly can into one of those places. Is they're targeting Japan, Korea, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. They are going.
Mm-hmm.
They are going. They are pushing this as far as possible, and for good reason. The handheld market does incredibly well in the more eastern countries. These
Mm-hmm.
kind of devices,
Yeah.
where maybe
I think we
PC.
talked about that a few episodes ago,
Mm-hmm.
with especially with Japan and mobile devices. So yeah, I'd expect the Steam Deck to be pretty popular over there.
In particular, the Steam Deck is being available in Japan via in GameSpark, and the cheapest one is available. I'm going to do a yen to dollar
Mm-hmm.
convert. I'm very curious what this
Yeah,
conversion
it's
for.
probably going to be similar to the dollar value.
Yeah, yeah. It's the cheapest one comes out to $442 in
Mm-hmm.
dollars
And
from the
that's
yen.
probably without taxes then.
Yeah, that's yen
Yeah,
to
that
dollar
sounds pretty
conversion.
similar.
That's dollar to yen
That sounds pretty
conversion.
similar,
So,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, if there was any device, if anyone was going to make this move and try to get their hands in the Eastern market, it would be Valve. Valve probably has the
Mm-hmm.
best chance, and given the fact the Steam Deck has been fairly successful as far as being just a portable handheld computer. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen so many of these fucking devices over the years. Like, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like every year we see like four or five new models of like these handheld
Yes.
wannabe PC emulator devices that come out every single
Especially
time.
the cheaper stuff, yeah, but GPD was the main uh, manufacturer in the past of these devices. Like niche devices that are pretty decent, obviously costly, but nicely done. They had their clamshell designs, for example, with the gamepad controls in there next to the keyboard, or the not so well done GPD Win 3, which only had a touchscreen keyboard, which not so great. So you had to move up the display, and then you have your keyboard there, and it's only touch,
Yeah.
which for a keyboard is not really good.
No, not really. I wouldn't think so at least. But yeah. This is one hell of a move. And honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be surprised if this does insanely well everywhere it goes. I don't
Would be
necess
nice.
I'm not gonna be very surprised. I'm happy they're doing it, honestly. From what I've heard, the
Mm-hmm.
Steam Deck is one of the best as far as just this the market they're trying to hone in on is not a market that has had a really big competitor. I mean, we've seen a lot of these though. We've seen like the Ava Neo,
Yeah, the INU.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and a few other ones I've heard about over the
Yeah.
last like couple years. They've all ranged in price, but
Mm-hmm.
count on Valve to be the ones to be like, okay, we'll just do it our fucking selves, and it's already
Mm-hmm.
integrated into our conglomerate game distribution network that like everybody already has. We'll make money on the go. I like honestly, I'm not even like that surprised. Honestly, if I was Steam, I'd do the same fucking thing. I'd be like, yo, like here's a few million dollars, here's a few million dollars in R&D, make me a device. What? Just
Mm-hmm.
make it to where it can
Yeah.
run Steam games well enough for its size and its price and keep it reasonably affordable. Like how affordable? Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe more expensive than a Switch, but try to not go too far over the current consoles. All right, let's
Yeah.
try to. let's try to keep our market share where it needs to be, all right? And then they put this thing in front of me. I'm like, perfect, excellent. It's great. It's exactly what I wanted. Good job, fellas. You did exactly what I wanted. So yeah.
Yeah, they did really. They honestly they went above and beyond with this thing in terms of what they managed.
Yeah, so I'm not super surprised. And
Mm-hmm.
also I I mean we kind of I think we probably saw this coming because what was it? Wasn't it Square did a thing, Sony or Square did that announcement where like one of their games was confirmed like verified for Steam Deck.
That was Square with the Final Fantasy VII Remake integrate Steam version when they directly announced, "Yep, it's verified for Steam Deck."
I think they knew. I think they knew. I I I
Probably.
I think they already knew this was coming and they were like, we're gonna get ahead of it. But we're just gonna say right off the gate, our shit is verified. Yeah, I see you, Shuhei Yoshida,
Probably, yeah.
with the Final Fantasy VII remake page pulled up on that Steam Deck. I see you. Yeah, yeah. You're not sneaky. We all know what's
One of
going
the
on.
few good choices Square has done in these in the recent times.
Yeah, let's talk about Square for a second, shall we? That's a
Hmm.
great thank you for the
Yeah,
segue,
let's do that.
CD. Thank you. Damn, that was a good ass segue. Holy shit, that was fantastic. So we're gonna talk about Square. Now I mentioned at the start of the show that I have been pulled back into the Final Fantasy XIV Mafia. They have pulled my ass back in, CD. I thought I could
Mm-hmm.
leave. I was living my
Mm-hmm.
life with my wife, my job, my
Mm-hmm.
9 to 5. The
Mm-hmm.
my family, and then Final Fantasy XIV came knocking at my door. Fucking, I
You
answered that.
imagine that cartoon thing grabbing you from out
Oh
of the
yeah.
screen and yoinking you out.
See, I was gonna continue going with the mafia and just be like, I went to go answer that door and they threw a black bag over my head and snatched my ass up right then and there. Just
That's also a possibility. Yeah.
Final Fantasy XIV still keeping Square Enix afloat amid declining financial results.
Hmm.
Total net sales from the last financial quarter, April to June, were 74.8 billion yen, a drop of almost 16% compared to the same period last year, while operating income was at 14.4 billion, a drop of almost 17%. Net income actually rose due to foreign exchange gains. However, net sales of HD games has declined year on year. Sales of MMO games have conversely risen year
Mm.
on year. Now, I don't think it takes a genius, a market analyst, if you will, a seasoned programmer, a hardcore veteran RPG gamer, as it would, to assess why this has happened. Because the majority of the good things that have come out of Square in the last handful of years, barring 7 Remake, I think that was like the last thing
Hmm.
that most people are like melded on as far as a good release from Square, has been 14. Let's let's
Yeah,
let's
at
keep it
least from
let's
the Japanese side of things. Yeah.
yeah, let's keep it real. For as far as the Japanese side, the only thing that's come out of Square that has been good and has maintained quality as far
And
as
has been a really big release.
yeah, and it's been a massive release was Endwalker. You haven't heard news from Square that would have rivaled the kind of press they got from like the Endwalker release. We haven't
Mm.
heard shit like that from Square that would have come close to that kind of press coverage. I mean, yeah, we could all talk about the fact that people were waiting in line in queue for almost 2 hours to get in to play the fucking game. And yeah, that's a
Mm-hmm.
that's a valid point. But you know what? People still waited, and everyone who's played Endwalker walked away pretty fucking happy, despite the launch woes. And you know what, Square? You want to know why? Because the devs that you have for this fucking game were transparent and honest
Mm-hmm.
and kept a clear and open line of communication with their players and didn't
Yep.
sell a $110 statue NFT.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was really hard to keep a straight face. Hope you know that. That was really hard. That was holy shit. I don't know how you do it sometimes, man. That was fucking hard. Whew. My face hurts from that one, man. Damn. But yeah, like it's not. Look, this isn't surprising. I don't like to see Square struggle, but Japan Square's output, they don't have a lot of things coming out often. Like, they
Yeah,
don't really
the
have.
big releases get delayed, like Forspoken and 16. So yeah,
But
there have been a few releases in the last few months, but they haven't been all that big. So, I mean, obviously, at Chrono Cross, we had Triangle Strategy, we had
And let's be real. Triangle
stuff
Strategy
like
was
that.
good. It was a good game.
Hmm.
It was a good ass
Yeah,
video game. But it's
but
not.
it's not really a AAA massive
Yeah,
title
it's
that
not.
gives you just rakes in the money
Yeah.
by the bit. Just not that kind of sales
I,
push.
I am still genuinely surprised that Square hasn't tried to fuck with 14. Like, like 100%.
I mean, if they tried, Yoshi P would probably be there. Nope.
Like, like we haven't seen like a Final Fantasy 14 NFT.
Hmm.
They've already tried to make one. They've already done one with that cloud figurine that they created that came with a digital voucher for a NFT. Thanks Square. Really, really making
Mm-hmm.
gaming a fantastic thing right now. Yoshi P, just look, man, look, just bar the doors to your fucking studio. Don't let these motherfuckers in, all right? Don't do it, all right? If someone comes knocking saying they want to pitch an idea, just be like, nah, we got what we need. Don't worry about it.
He
Now
probably
we,
just has a sign at his door. No fucking thanks.
yeah, no, thank you, sir. Please, no. So I'm a detour to not a big story, but
Mm-hmm.
anytime I get to see Maximilian lose his shit multiple times in a handful of hours, it's what I signed up for. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so Evo started. For those that don't know, that's the Evolution Fighting Game Tournament, the biggest tournament. This is the big stage where some of the best players come together and test themselves against each other. All right, this is it. This is the big one. And there were some. Evo is as much the tournament as it is the announcements. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I would have prefaced what I'm about to say with something Max has said in the past. Now, Max is easily one of the biggest proponent of fighting games. When it comes to just having
Mm-hmm.
an understanding, or at least the best understanding you possibly have of the industry, it's probably going to be Max. And there's something Max has said every single time about fighting games, and that is that if rollback netcode is not considered when the game is in development, it's probably never going to happen. It's just not a thing. It's too costly. They're not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. Woo. Ooh, this got juicy real quick. This got hella juicy, hella quick.
Mm-hmm.
So the first big one that happened was Sam Show was announced to be getting rollback netcode coming spring 2023. This is big because Sam Show
Mm-hmm.
was basically fucking unplayable online. its netcode was that bad. It was terrible. It's getting rollback, bitches. This game is, and it's not like some secondhand rollback. They're getting help from like some of the some people with rollback experience. Code mystics are going to be coming in and getting this shit implemented. So right off the gate, we starting out good, right? Right, we starting out hella good. KOF. What?
Gonna be on the basis of KOF 15 netcode, right?
Yeah.
From what I read. So
using
that's tried and
GGPO.
tested.
Yep, using GGPO, which is at this point the gold standard for rollback. KOF 15 is getting crossplay, which is huge. This is huge for a fighting game. Like the holy duology of things you want your fighting game to have is crossplay and rollback. If every fighting game could just have these two, it would fix a lot of issues.
Yeah, because that's also gonna fix matchmaking for the game.
Yeah.
Which, from what I've heard, has issues.
Yeah. No. KOF has had issues with matchmaking. It has not been pretty. And this is ideally the best way to fix it, is to have crossplay to where you potentially have a larger range of players, right? That's how you do it. You have a larger range of players. And then oh man, this was big. This was fucking big. I cannot believe Bandai Namco did it, CD. They did it. They did it. And they did it in like Japanese. Someone had to translate this shit. There was no subtitles or nothing for this shit. But here's the thing. I love this clip because the girl says it, and people in the audience are mostly English, so we don't fucking know what she's saying, but you know what we understood, CD? There was one word we understood out of her. Rollback. We heard that one word and we're like, what?
And there was a translator there, so yeah, they just had to wait for him to speak.
Dragon Ball Z Fighters is getting rollback netcode. They said on stage, the game's perfect. We're happy with the game. So there's no
additional characters and no more balancing changes.
No more balancing. But guess what? Y'all getting a Christmas gift. Y'all getting rollback in this game now.
Yeah.
Bruh, listen. There's only like one more game left that needs to get rollback. And the fighting game community will probably be happy. It's Tekken.
What's that?
Tekken 7. That's the only one that doesn't have it. If Tekken 7 gets it, we're set. Like, that's it. And Tekken 7 can afford to put rollback in its fucking game. I'm sorry. As many characters and seasons as this game has had, I'm positive they can afford to put rollback in this goddamn game. Come on, guys. Let's get this. We eat now here. So yeah, this is huge.
Tekken is by
I think that's also Bandai now. Is it?
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't have a big problem with that.
So
theoretically.
at this point, I think it's just a matter of time. I don't think this is a matter of if. It's just a matter of when they decide to announce it. Is really it. And really, all this does now is solidify what I've said multiple times now, is that not having rollback is not an option. It's not. Because if you don't have rollback, people are not going to play your fucking video game. It's just, people are not going to do it. They're going to go, well, this game doesn't have it. I'm going to go play something that has good netcode, that actually functions online. I'm not going to spend money and play this busted ass video game that doesn't play right. Because here's the thing, man. Japan has been in this weird fucking place where it's like they still think that they still think a lot of people still do local online, because a lot of Japan still has like arcades. I don't know if they're still as popular now. I don't live there, obviously. I don't know. But a lot of their mentality has been, well, people are closer together, so it's not that big of a deal. But then you get to America and it's like, bro, you go like 2 states, you've already gone farther than like the entirety of Japan. Like, you've traveled the distance of Japan point to point in like 2 states. All right, let's just keep it real. So yeah, no, we here now. CD, Dragon Ball Z Fighters is getting rollback. Sam Show is getting rollback. We eating good out here.
Yeah.
Oh God, we're on. The show is. I'm at 50. Fuck, we're at 55. Fuck. Okay.
Oh.
Shit. Damn. I thought I had more time. I'm having a great time. This is great.
Yeah.
This is a great. I'm loving this. You know, let's talk about everybody's favorite company that wants to eat up everyone else's company or eat up shares of everyone else's company. Let's talk about Tencent, the conglomerate, this massive company that is taking bits and pieces, bites out of as many American companies as it could possibly take bites out of.
Yeah, not just American ones.
Just any company with decent market share or just share in this industry. It's just chomp.
But from what I remember, Grinding Gear Games, for example, the ones that make Path of Exile, is also pretty much owned by them, and they're Australian, from what I remember.
But today we're gonna talk about Ubisoft. Now, I didn't know this. Tencent has a decent stake in Ubisoft.
Yeah, I think it was 10%. Something like that.
Yeah, it's about 10%. Yeah, a Tencent which bought a 5% stake in Ubisoft in 2018. They're looking to increase their stake in the firm. Tencent offers up to 100. Is that pounds or euros? What's that symbol on the Twitter post? The Twitter bit.
Let me check. Which one is that?
Is that pounds or euro? I don't know what that. This probably isn't going to show it because it's. Yeah, I just posted it in the chat.
It's euros.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's 100 euros per share.
Tencent is determined to nail down the deal, as Ubisoft is an important strategic asset for Tencent. So they want to buy up even more. You know, they want to nail down even more in the company. Which,
yeah, they want to become the largest shareholder, which, yeah, that's... Yep, apparently they currently own 15%. Or was it? I know, the Guillemot family owns 15%.
Yeah,
currently.
The Guillemot family owns 15%. Which, yeah. You know, man, Tencent, dude, they...
Yeah, they do own a lot.
I think the only other, like, I know it's not the same kind of thing, but when I think of a company that just has a lot under their belt, I think of like THC Nordic, or like, I guess that's it,
the Embracer Group.
Embracer Group, right? Like just a company with like a large stable.
Although this is a bit different.
This is more company share than just
Embracer.
IPs.
Yeah, Embracer actually owns the companies and has all the IPs with them, while Tencent usually does it more in a partial manner. They do have some companies bought up completely, but with others it's just
that's a share.
Often a minority or a majority share that they own, and they don't outright own the companies and their IPs. And Embracer is far more like a shark with that. Not with and usually not with the bigger companies, but if you're a medium-sized or smaller company, chances are, Embracer is probably interested.
But I will give Embracer credit where credit is due, I think, and that is that they have gone and brought back IPs that you wouldn't have thought of. They have. Yeah. They're not sitting on these things. They have them, and when they're able to, and when that opportunity arises, they are cashing in on these IPs that they now have access to.
Yeah, they have a lot of projects in the works. I'm not sure how many it is by now, but last time I remember it was, I think, around 80 per project at least.
Jesus. Jesus. So many
Let's see if
projects.
there's a...
So many fucking video games.
Oh, yeah.
Like, CD, you'd have to, like...
And I mean, since they're... Ah, no, it's even more.
See?
An article from, was it May this year? They currently have 230 games in development
Jesus.
overall. Only 13% of those are AAA, but even if it would be a lot of them in the AA segment, even that would be
A lot.
yeah.
But still a considerable amount.
Uh-huh. Yeah, definitely.
So I'm gonna
It's gonna be
leave.
interesting.
So guys, look, the show's almost over, and there's another story, but I'm not covering that story this segment. We're gonna cover it next week. The VR chat follow up. I think we're gonna cover that next. We're gonna cover that next week. That's a because I kind of want a little bit more. I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see how
Let's give that story a bit more to stew.
I want to let that. I want to keep that story in the oven a little longer and see what cooks up out of that one. But on a totally different note, on a more casual note, CD, they officially announced Tactics Ogre, even though we already knew about it. We already knew about it.
People knew about it, and yeah, they finally decided, yeah, okay, here's a trailer. Yes, we're working on it. Coming out soon. Fine, happy.
Your Discord post was the heaviest eye roll I've ever seen in human history. Just like, yeah, we knew. Yeah, we know, guys. Yeah, we know. We already knew about this, guys.
Yeah.
Trust me. We've been in the know. We knew what you all was doing. We knew about
this. And they still seem to be in the bad habit of using those bad filters for 2D games.
Ah, God.
Just stop.
It's the smoothing filter, right? It makes things look all. Ugh.
Yep.
I think the problem is, I think Square. I think ever since the SNES and like the PS1, Square has had this ridiculous notion that no one wants to see fucking pixels.
Square. Yeah, and each and every time they release a game like this, people get upset by it, and but they don't learn.
Yeah, they don't. They seem to think that people don't like crispy ass.
They don't seem to learn.
But like,
and the weird thing is,
Octopath
they have the
pixels. Like,
yeah, but that's a completely new engine. That's a completely new game.
Right, fair enough.
So that's different people. The problem is mostly with games that they take from the old era of 16-bit games and stuff and put them on new systems, like the Final Fantasy games with the mobile ports and Chrono Trigger, all those games. And the weird thing is, with those games, every time that's the problem. But then there's the Pixel Remaster games that didn't have that problem.
Yeah.
For example. So something is different. Some people are... It's probably some people that are responsible for specifically those ports and remasters that has some weird idea in his head. And it's probably the same guy that was responsible for the Chrono Cross remaster. Because those textures sure were smooth.
Yeah. Right? I don't get it. Like, nobody's going to be
whoever it is at Square needs
a reality check.
Yeah, I really don't want to call him Smooth Brain. It was the closest word that would fit.
Just know. I'm watching you. Don't get it twisted. I saw that. I saw that. I was here live for that. Just remember, I have to live with that now. That's
Everyone was there live for it.
I have to live with that now, CD. Thank you. Appreciate
Mhm.
that. Like
You're welcome.
I don't know, man. I don't see the problem with pixels. I don't know why I don't know why they have this weird issue
Me neither.
with pixels. Crispy, clean ass pixels look amazing. So why are you smoothing this shit over?
Yep.
Like okay,
Pixel art usually ages better
than
than
3D.
3D
Yeah,
art.
generally speaking.
Especially, yeah, generally. Obviously, there's the early pixel age, like 8-bit and before, which doesn't age as well as the good 16-bit games, but after a certain point, it just doesn't age.
Yeah.
It just looks great and keeps on looking great.
I would say the best
With
idea
3D,
the the best idea, generally speaking, is like, look, either keep the pixels or just redo the art.
yep.
Those are your options.
Do it in your HD 2D style.
You redo
That's
the
Live
keep-
Alive
Yeah.
and the upcoming Dragon Quest game, whenever that's coming out.
Yeah,
Which
we haven't. Yeah, we
it's
haven't.
a mystery.
We haven't heard hide nor hair about. They dropped that teaser
Nope.
and just said nothing. That was it. They were just
Yeah.
like, "Here's a teaser. We'll see you when we see you, fuckers. We're out."
See you in several years, I guess.
Like, yeah, like keep the pixels or just redo the art, because taking pixels and then applying a smoothing filter looks gross. Don't do that shit.
Yeah.
And you know,
absolutely
the thing is, like, I don't understand like why they did it with the mobile games too, because the mobile ports, like Final Fantasy games, those look so bad. Like, the thing is, look, we could talk about whether or not like the pixel remaster character sprites were good. You know,
that's neither here nor there. That's a subjective. Yeah, exactly.
But you know what though? They looked better than the fucking mobile ports. The mobile ports to those
absolutely.
Games. Even if you don't think they look great compared to the original ones, they still looked better compared to the last time we got that shit redone. And that shit looked terrible.
Yeah. And the thing is, you don't really need to smooth them out, because either you have it on your phone where the screen is small, so the pixels are small, and even on a tablet, it's not that big, so it's not gonna be giant pixels.
Question. So if you, well, okay, so I guess if it's a smaller screen, higher resolution, the PPI is higher, so it still wouldn't fuck with the pixels anyways, right? It would still mostly be the same?
Usually it shouldn't. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I was curious because I was like, on like screens these days, like it's not unlikely for someone to have like a 4K fucking phone screen.
Yeah, and
on
the
them.
pixels of the screen are so small
You're not gonna even
that there wouldn't be a problem there. Yeah, even if you look close, there wouldn't be a problem. With that.
You would.
The image is small enough, so it looks It looks even better than it would on a CRT back then.
Right.
Often, the only kind of filter that you might give as an option is a CRT filter, because that would improve the look up potentially for people that don't have viewing problems in that regard. If you have a good CRT filter, that improves on the look of those old games, because those old games have optimized their pixel art to that.
Yeah.
Because the CRT gives it a certain look that that was a bit of a problem when we went from the CRT monitors to the flat screen. That instantly you had a kind of a downgrade in terms of quality for the older 2D games. That's why obviously the smoothing filters came up when emulation did its thing, and you had your flat screens, and then they saw, okay, these pixels look a bit rough now. So what should we do? And whoever thought it up first came up with the smoothing filters, which obviously, as we know now, are a bad idea.
Yeah.
But nowadays, you can get the CRT filters for all kinds of emulators, and they look great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't see why that's not an option. I think a lot of it. I think a lot of it is most of these companies, they don't want to like, because most of this stuff is all open source and free. You know, free options.
So
and
it
stuff.
wouldn't even be a big effort to take that and credit the people. But yeah,
a lot of Japanese devs aren't gonna do that. They're gonna just make their own. They're gonna do their own, and then that shit's not gonna look right. People are gonna pixel peep the fuck out of that and go like, you got close. I guess it's not. The only ones who've done it reasonably well, and it took them a couple attempts to get it right, was Nintendo. Nintendo mostly can do a good CRT filter. With the SNES Classic,
don't the Mega Man collections also have a filter like that?
Yeah, I think so.
I think because that's those collections are a really good way to put the games into current times. Capcom really did well with those.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. We're at a point now where like having proper aspect ratios and like options for like how you want the screen to be displayed. That shit should be common, and people were losing their mind over like the fact that like Capcom had like pixel perfect 4:3, 16:9, you know, all these different ways to display pixels, because that shit matters, dude. Like most of these old ass video games, they weren't displayed in 16:9. They were displayed in some form of
4:3.
4:3, I think,
something like that. Close to.
Yeah, it was some format of 4:3. Just to remind everybody, 240p, the original resolution that these games were originally created for, wasn't technically a real resolution. It was more of a trick. It was more of a trick. It was more of a trick to display it on TVs for its time. You know, it's for some of us hardcore old school aficionados. That's the gold standard. You know, getting that crispy 240p. Those crispy pixels. You know, I'm all about my crispy retro pixels. I'm all about that shit. All right? I didn't get into this game for some smoothed over bullshit. I got into this game for the crispy pixels. All right, CD. We're gonna wrap this episode up, CD. I think it's about time. We're about there. Yeah. We are about there. As always, everybody, feel free to check out our podcast on a variety of streaming platforms such as Apple, Google, and Spotify. And check out the video version of our show on YouTube, Turn-Based Cynics, every single Sunday from this point onward. I'm sticking to it. Elsewise, I am eating that goddamn nasty-ass shoe, and I'm not happy about that shit. Shit is nasty. I don't want to eat that shit, man. I have a bad enough diet as it... Bro, I have a bad... There's no calories in that shit, dude. Like, that's not... I'm not going to be healthy. I'm not messing this up. I have to eat that nasty ass shoe. I ain't doing that. I ain't eating that nasty ass shoe. As always, everybody, have a fantastic week. Get through this grind. Get through this week. It's not going to always be easy, but you know what, though, guys? We got to do it. All right? We got to get up in the morning. We got to go to bed at night. We got to get this shit done. So let's get done the best we can so we can have fun when it's all said and done, right? That's all. That's all that matters. Sir. And, you know, video games and rollback netcode, because that's what matters most. Anyways, everybody, we will see you all next week. I am expecting some good stories coming. So until then, guys, stay tuned. We'll see you all later.
See ya.
I have like nine videos in the tank, CD. Fucking just nine of them bitches.
Good.
Now I'm gonna go play fucking 14 because I got nothing else to work on right now. God damn it. God damn it. I'm motivated, but I'm not that motivated. Come on, dude. I'm stat patting right now, dude. There's no need. This is ridiculous.